Alright, and welcome to Vision F1 Series, Season 5, Round 5, and we go quickly through the grid here. 14 drivers on track, and of course the safety car driven by Gadirli. Alright, and the race is about to start. The lights are turning red, and then off we go. Malone has a lot of wheel spin, but manages to keep in front, but Fabio Gal takes third place right away from Eads. Alright, and in the background it looks like everybody goes through the first corner pretty nicely, and Malone goes a little wide and Franklin has to lift to avoid contact there. Let's focus on Eads because he was robbed from his third place right away. He doesn't like it and goes for a move right away without DRS and making the move stick here. Well done from Eads. Alright, back to the front. Franklin chasing Malone very closely, coming up to Cobb's corner for the first time. And whoa, Franklin has a big moment, probably surprised by the dirty air there. And Eads can take advantage and take second place from Franklin, his teammate. Gal also still really close, almost only 2/10 of a second behind, but Malone in this case has already a gap of more than a second because of that mistake of Franklin there. Alright, last part of the first lap here, and yeah, well, we want to see what happened to the rest. Of course, in the first lap, what is that? The safety car is still on track. Oh, it looks like everybody can avoid it, but yeah, that will be fixed in the next lap, luckily. Another look at the start of the race, following the second half of the pack. Yeah, we see everybody goes nicely through the first corner as Chris Quadri makes a mistake on his own, probably due to cold tires, and has to start off the back of the pack. Max Rush is going wide, comes back on track safely, but wants too much right away and takes out Ain't here. That is really hard to see. Ain't will join Chris Quadri from the back and has to fight his way back into this race. On board with Yit, really close to Max Prunings, that is taking a wide line here and then goes to the inside, a little bit of an unusual line, but yeah, that surprised Yit and he hits Max on his rear. Well, Alec Bali can take advantage here right away, goes to the outside, but Yit wants to fight his position, of course, and stays on the outside. Really close side-by-side racing, and Yit takes back the position from Musafar. Then Diaz on 10th position at the moment, following Max Rush, and Max goes wide here and loses the position to Diaz. Back to Alec Bali, going through McLaren Beckers, and he really gains time on the two drivers in front. Three drivers really close. Can he make a move right away? Oh, he is lacking a little bit of top speed here, and he sees Yit and Max disappearing. But probably in the corners he can come back at them, as we see Yit making a move on Max here. Alec Bali wants to take advantage, but Max doesn't leave space on the outside here, so Musafar will stay in 7th position for now. On board with Victor Diaz, as we see Godfrey trying to make a move on Musafar after that moment with Max Prunings there. All drivers really close. Oh, Diaz brakes a little bit too late. That looks like there's contact, and this is really bad for Christopher Godfrey. Jordi Gisbert taking advantage and takes 10th position from Godfrey. But Godfrey is not having this and wants to fight his way back right away. Takes the inside. Beautiful move done by Christopher. Alright, back to the front where Franklin is still chasing his teammate Fabio Gull is still within the second, just yet, of the Voltix Energy cars. And yeah, well, but he's dropping out right now actually. So probably Franklin and Eads are working together to cover off Gull. In the corner sections, Gull gets back a little bit, but he is on the limit of that second. Alright, first DRS zone coming up. And Franklin is really close right now. Teammates always in contact with each other, and we see Eads charging up his battery here. So I think this is a planned move to let Franklin pass and yeah, try to be working together to get back at Malone. On board with Christopher Godfrey, who is challenging Max Rush at the moment. Lap 4 it is, going through the first couple of corners, trying to prepare his move for the upcoming DRS straight, of course. Yeah, it looks like he can make a move here. Max going wide, but also Godfrey is going wide, and well, he spins but recovers his car very nicely. Then Fabio Gull, 2.5 seconds behind Eads now at this moment. Going through cops and oh, loses his car there. A big spin and a big crash actually. Can he continue? I think he can. Big moment here in the race. And he drops back to 10th position. Then lap 5. Max Prunings within the DRS window of Yit here in the first DRS zone. And he goes for a move on the outside. Beautifully done, but Yit let it stick. There at the outside of the next corner, turn 7. But Max Pruning makes the move stick. Beautiful overtake here from Max Prunings. Whoa, Yit is going for it in Cop's corner. That is really risky. But yeah, he takes back the position. A big fight between Yit and Max here. Going through Max and Beckett, and Max has DRS again. So I suspect he can go for it again. Opening his DRS here. Coming closer, have a lot of overspeed. Going for the outside, and Yit has to concede the position. But comes back at him. Wow, an amazing fight here. Going side by side, but Max in the inside. Yit let it stick and take back a moment from Max on the exit here. And this fight is far from over. Then we see Chris Quadri coming up to the tail of Max Rush. Going to the first couple of corners in lap 6. And Chris Quadri wants to go for the switchback here and does an amazing job. Going side by side already. Taking DRS as well. But oh, Chris Quadri doesn't leave space for Max Rush and hits him, forcing him off track. This is not the way we want to see an overtake. Back to the front, Franklin and Eads came back to the tail of Malone. Lap 7, going through Mackes and Beckes. Oh, and Malone has a big slide here and has to correct his car. Franklin needs to adjust and Eads comes closer, but wow, goes too early on the throttle himself and spins out. And that is also the moment where Franklin takes first position from Malone. Back to Prunings and Yit, still in a big fight together. Prunings with DRS, but a little bit too far to make a move this time. Turn 7 here. Yit goes a little bit wide, but he manages to keep his car having a good exit. But goes over a bump there and has a moment. Prunings comes closer, and this time it's Prunings who can take the inside in Cop's corner. They go side by side, and this is a great battle. They don't make contact whatsoever, and that is that is amazing from both drivers. Next DRS zone, Prunings with the DRS. Going for the outside, yet defends the inside and has to concede the position. But as we know, yet he never gives up and wants to get that position back. Preparing for the next straight, but brakes too late and hits. He hits Prunings on his rear, taking him out. That is so unfortunate after a great fight like this. Prunings dropping back to P7. Alec Bali and Diaz overtook Prunings after that incident, and they are in a close battle themselves. Diaz really coming up to the tail of Musafar here. The exit of turn 4, Diaz has a big moment, and instead of gaining a position on Alec Bali, he loses the police position to Max Prunings. Then lap 9, Malone still following Luke Franklin closely. They're having a great battle up until now. Both go into the pits, and wow, Malone brakes really late without having a penalty here and gains some time on Franklin in the pit. Both having a decent pit stop. Franklin still in first place, but I think Malone gained a little bit here. Oh, other drivers coming into the picture here. And that means Franklin has DRS as well. Oh, and Diaz goes wide again, goes off track. But we keep focusing on this fight here. Franklin probably can make a move right now. Can Malone also do it? This is not helping Malone at all, having another driver so closely. But he's simply fighting for position. So he has the right to be there. But Alec Bali does a really respectful thing here to not interfere in the battle between Franklin and Malone. Thank you very much for this great behavior. Lap 10. Going through the first couple of corners. Malone really gains time in the first sector. That is something to keep an eye on. Having DRS again. Going for a move now this time. But Franklin let it stick on the outside. Great side-by-side racing again, as we used from these two guys. Malone on the outside, having probably a little bit of a better exit. But Franklin manages to stay in front. Coming two cops. Side by side. Oh, this is so close. Amazing fight between the two drivers for first position. And this time Malone is really close through Mackets and Beckett's. But at the exit he loses out, and can he make a move this time? Having DRS. Nah, he needs to stay behind and start over again. Skipping to lap 13. Malone still chasing Franklin very closely. And does have a decent exit here, but can he make a move? He is coming. Is he going for it? Yes, he's trying, but Franklin let his car stick to the outside again. A great defensive line. And yeah, well, Malone cannot make the move stick, to be honest. Skipping to lap 15. Malone still chasing Franklin really closely here. And every time he has a little bit of a better pace in sector 1. But, he makes a big mistake this time. He keeps his car on track after going wide there. But I think this is the moment where Yeah, well, Franklin breaks the DRS window for Malone, and it's gonna be a big challenge to get back at Franklin after this mistake. In the meantime, Christopher Godfrey is challenging Mustafa Al-Akbali and goes to the inside in turn 1, but cannot make the move stick. Goes for the outside in turn 3, but again he needs to stay behind. The DRS zone is coming up. Oh, having a little bit of a moment on the exit here, but still is really close. And I guess he can make the move stick this time. Yes, and he does. DRS does some magic here. We're gonna stick to this fight a little bit longer because they really have around the same pace, I believe. Fighting for 7th position in lap 16 it is, or at least the leaders are in lap 16. Coming up through Meckes and Beckers, and well, the Godfrey managed to have some gap, but in the corner sections, and we saw this before already, Al-Akbali has better grip. And with the DRS, now it's Al-Akbali's turn to take 7th position again. Let's see how Godfrey will react to this. Braking really deep from Godfrey as we see Diaz going wide again in the same corner as he did before. That's hard to see. Again, DRS is helping and they switch positions once again, but Al-Akbali stays on the inside here. Wow, real close side-by-side battle, and there is a little touch. Let's call this a racing incident. It was just a little kiss, but it makes Godfrey be able to take back 6th place it is now because of some pit stops of others. Great battle between the two drivers here, and I suspect they're gonna switch positions once again. Oh, Godfrey uses all of his battery probably, but still he has to concede the position and start over again. An exciting race for both of the drivers, I believe. Making the move again. Oh! I think they made contact again. And due to this, Al-Akbali went wide and now Diaz is challenging him. Going side by side, coming up to Kops. I think Al-Akbali takes the safer option and drops back before the corner. That's really smart. Oh, and a big moment for Diaz again. I think his setup was not really good for this track. Maybe practice a little bit more to set up your car properly. And who is that actually? Max Rush joining the party here. Godfrey has a little bit of a gap now, but again in the corner sections Al-Akbali gets back to him. And yeah, well, great to see the drivers having so much side-by-side battles. Godfrey probably the sitting duck again, as both drivers have DRS, Max and Mustafa, but no move this time around. And oh, Max goes wide and locks up. I think he's gonna lose time now, and yes, he's outside of the DRS now. All right. Lap 19, and the gap between Franklin and Malone is around 1.8 seconds all the time. But as we see a back marker here, on the second DRS straight. He gives Franklin DRS and moves aside pretty well. Malone doesn't have the DRS here, so the gap is growing. And let's see if the back marker goes out of the way for Malone in the same way. This is not the right position for Malone. He wants to go for it here. He doesn't know what the back marker is doing. Oh, and a really slow corner for the back marker and not clear where he was going. So this takes out a second of the gap to Franklin. And this is probably the end of the fight. On board with Chris Quadri. Yeah, coming close to Yit here. Brakes really deep, wants to go for the outside, but almost makes contact here. But luckily it didn't happen. DRS for Chris. Yet defending the inside. Quadri tries to go for the outside and makes the move stick here. Beautifully done. But one lap later, it's the other way around. Now Quadri on the inside defending, and he stays in front. Another great battle forming up here. Godfrey and Alec Barley still fighting, and also Max is following closely. A bad corner for Christopher Godfrey, going really slow, and Alec Barley can barely avoid contact there, but he does. And then Max is coming closer, also almost make contact with Alec Barley there. Having better exit speed here, going for the inside and cops, but goes wide and hits Alec Barley and forcing him outside of track. Alright, that wasn't really pretty. And yeah, Diaz with his setup issues coming closer again after that incident. Looking at Luke Franklin, who yeah, had a great race, very stable, no incidents whatsoever, only the first one in Cops, but amazing race. Congratulations with your win. As we see Malone crossing the finish line 4 seconds later. Also congratulations to him, of course. Then Lewis Eads, third place for him. In the end he took another pit stop. He was probably not sure if the tires would last, and he had a big gap. So third place for him. Congratulations on another podium. Great race. But there is still a fight going on track. Yet and Quadri fighting for the last 5 laps. Chris is covering off Yet every time and stayed in front. But now the last lap of the race, Yet is trying to do it. He's really close, going for the outside in the last chicane, and he wants to let his car stick. It does a pretty good job, but then he runs wide and doesn't leave space for Chris Quadri, forcing him off track. And unfortunately another move that is not legal. Yeah, well, it happens, but this will be a penalty. And this was it for this race. Yeah, hope to see you all next time around. Monaco coming up, so that is gonna be something. All right, up to the interviews, and see you guys later. Bye bye. Luke Franklin, welcome to the interview room. How are you doing? Congratulations with your first place. Another race win.
Yeah, no, nice to win a race, especially a home race. It's always nice. And yeah, I'm just very hot and sweaty right now, to be honest.
Yeah, you couldn't drop down. Malone was following you closely, at least the first half. Um, yeah, talk us through. Yeah, well, I don't like to interview myself, so we talk a little bit together if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, one mistake is one too many, right? That's the saying.
Yeah. I see you dropped away from DRS, and I just knew that. Yeah, as long as I tried to keep you out, I was pretty good. I mean, I was still pretty comfortable even with you in DRS, other than probably the first DRS zone. That was always a bit. Your sector one was just better than mine, so you were able to get the run there. But everywhere else, I was pretty comfortable.
You had more top speed again.
Yeah, probably more likely. Um, but I found dirty air really hard around here. Like
Yeah,
very noticeable compared to other tracks we've done.
yeah, we skipped the first part actually. Maybe I turn it around when I edit it. But yeah, in the beginning you made a mistake because of the dirty air, I think.
Yeah, I literally went to go around cops and the car just didn't turn, and I backed out a bit because I didn't want to get a penalty or gain any time or anything. So I just backed out and just made sure that I was all clear from that angle. But yeah, it wasn't ideal. Just caught me out a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and in the beginning, then Malone could, yeah, had 1.5 seconds or something. It looked comfortable for him in the beginning, but somehow you fought your way back. Did you push to the limits to get back to him, or was it just the tires?
Um, I just think as the tire wear started to kick in a bit, I could see yourself kind of going a bit wider, and I was able to just kind of keep the tires in maybe a lap or two longer or so, and it just helped me out. I just seemed to be gaining time. I wasn't necessarily pushing 100%, but yeah, obviously I knew I needed to get in the DRS because I knew you were quick. So
Yeah, well, I think I'm now we talk about tires anyway, but my tires were totally gone. I needed to do 3 laps and it wasn't even visible anymore. Not even in the red. How was that for you? The C1s I'm talking about.
yeah, the on the last lap, probably maybe just before, maybe 1.5 laps left, I went down to completely nothing on my left. But I knew from practice that that was probably going to be the case. Um,
Yeah, you practice way
so
too much. That should be forbidden. Like maybe 80 laps max or something, but you did like 125 or something.
yeah, it was something like that.
All right.
But yeah, I knew from practice that it was going to go to zero. So um, yeah, you could feel the left front slowly dying during the race. Uh, Maggots and Beckett's probably the most obvious. It just started to get a bit more difficult. So it was just managing that too. But yeah, I knew it was going to happen. It was just when. And I think Lou pitted, I think, because he weren't so sure. So
Yeah, no, unfortunate incident for him. Malone almost lost his car, and he recovered. And then you came to the outside, but I think it surprised Louis there. But we talked to him later. But what were your thoughts about that?
um, can't really remember it. I think I may have had a bit of like oversteer or understeer, which is why I think I went closer to you than ideal, I think. But yeah, I think we were just a bit slower than obviously Louis, who was a bit further back, and I think it just caught him by surprise and yeah,
Uh, d- d-
unfortunate. But
didn't you notice that I made a big mistake there? That was the reason that we came side by side. But you maybe
okay.
from your cockpit you didn't notice, but.
No, to be honest, I don't. I was so concentrated. To be honest, I don't. Most of the laps were just a blur. To be honest, um,
All right.
I'll
Yeah.
watch it back. But yeah, I think I also made a bit of an error, I think, there as well. Seeing you maybe make an error, I don't know. I'll have to look back.
Yeah, all right, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, one last thing. The gap was 2 seconds, and yeah, you were pretty much on the same pace. But then, yeah, a back marker screwed me over, to be honest. And
Yeah, I did. I did see. I got a nice bit of DRS, and then I
yeah,
was just looking in my mirror, and I could just see you two right next to each other, and I was just like, I think if you were to watch back Louis' stream, you'd probably hear me say, "Malone's going to be pissed."
Well, yeah, well, it happens. I think the good thing about it was that I think we had the same pace, and I wasn't even able to get back at you anyway. So that makes it a little bit more easy to accept it. Well, great job, man. It's 3 out of 4, if I'm correct, or is it? No, this is 4 out of 5.
Well, someone else has got to win, you know.
Well, it's good. It's good to have another champion, but it's still not over, of course. But if you keep practicing like this so much, then yeah, well, practice is key. So I hope people in the stream, or the drivers, also watch the interview, and yeah, maybe they practice a little bit more. But
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't need to do as many laps as I do, but um, yeah, it's just if I have spare time, I'll jump on. And obviously, I have my set days with Louis anyway that will come on, and yeah, we probably do a good amount, close to probably 100 laps all in all in practice. So yeah, I aim for about 100 every week. That's kind of the target.
yeah, it matters. It matters definitely. But I have to be honest. I cannot find the motivation to do so many laps. I did it when I was younger, but now,
My motivation is beating you. As long as I know I
yeah,
can win this title,
I
then
know,
I'm fine.
I know. I know. Oh man. All right. Well, it's well deserved. It doesn't even matter if it is a practice or whatever. You put the time in and the effort, and yeah. Well, congratulations again, mate. Great race. Yeah. Maybe you want to add something, but otherwise we move to Louis.
Yeah, no, just obviously congrats to the rest of the podium. Obviously yourself and Louis, another good race, and obviously some good battles with you. Back markers to me were good, so no complaints there. Yeah, no, another good race week, and yeah, I look forward to next week with whatever it is. I hope it's not Monaco.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna check. Um, yeah,
It's
you
either
promised you skip Monaco, but I don't believe you.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it is actually
It's either
Monaco.
is it Monaco?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah, yeah.
no.
But
Oh, there'll be 300 laps coming out this week then, I think.
yeah, all right. It's all about qualifying. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
100%.
And I
So that'll be you then. So congrats, GG.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
see you
know.
for the race after.
It's always the same story. You have to put it together on the moment that it counts. But
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
yeah, no, no, good race, mate. And yeah, I'll catch you next week.
Definitely. All right. See you later, mate.
See you later, mate. Thank you.
Bye bye. Lewis Eats. Thank you for being here. I'm really curious about your race because you had the pace, um, and something happened. Can you talk us through your race?
Yeah. So again, sort of going into it, I wasn't like 100% sure where my pace was. I knew in practice I was quick, but I always seem to have this habit of being quick in practice, and then it tends to be a bit unpredictable during the race. But qualifying was good, apart from I felt there was probably a bit more time in there. I don't think I was going to challenge for pole or anything, but it gives a bit more confidence for the race anyway. And then, yeah, Franklin went past in the race. I didn't put up too much of a fight because I thought I didn't want to lose time to yourself. I thought maybe we could work together a little bit, and then I just got a bit too excited when that little moment happened coming out of Maggots and Beckett's, and just got on the overtake button a bit too early and just lost the rear, which I was a bit gutted for, but
All right.
just one of them things.
Yeah, I want to talk a bit more about that, but yeah, well, as honest as always, you blamed yourself for that. Then because Malone had a big moment and he needed to correct his car, so the speed was totally out of. It was not the normal speed through Maccas and Beckett's there, so I thought, oh, Eats was surprised by it, and that was the reason that you spun. But if I hear you correctly, you say it was the DRS button.
Yeah, so it was I used the battery. I thought like I was kind of obviously caught up pretty quickly I think obviously once Malone had that bit of a moment, and then obviously Luke tried to obviously avoid the contact. I was approaching that pretty quick, so I sort of backed off and then thought, well, if I just back off and then gun it out of Maggotts and Beckett, I might have a chance to jump, both of them at once into Stowe. But yeah, I think I like that idea a bit too much. Got on my
Just a little bit
that
too
rim
eager
button.
then.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
it happens, I mean, I'm just a bit, I think, frustrated a little bit, but like I know I've got like that's what 2 races now that I know I'm improving bit by bit with the pace, and I can stay there. Which again is good, but I suppose it makes it a bit more frustrating as well because just took myself out of the race really. Bit of a lonely one after that.
All right, no more incident. I think you were on 10 seconds from me, from alone a long time. But in the end, it was more. So there must happen something else.
Yeah, so towards the end of the race, like because I was just trying everything really to see if I could save any part of the race. So I went early for the pits for the hard tire, seeing if I could maybe crawl a bit more time back with the undercut. Then the problem with that towards the latter stages of the race was that I had like no tire life left, so I had
Yeah,
0 on my front left before the second last lap even started. So I was like,
oh,
um,
for me, it was like 3 laps. Then I didn't have anything left anymore. But
yeah,
yeah,
I was a bit
sorry,
worried on.
continue.
No, it's all right. I was just a bit worried on whether they'd. I know that they can usually go a bit longer, once they do get a 0. But I thought, well, I'll I think I pitted on the second to last lap and just put the C5s on and just thought
Oh, you
I might
pitted.
as well. Yeah, I know. I
Ah,
was really
really?
torn between, do I stay within 10 seconds of Malone, and if he gets a penalty then great, or do I just throw the softs on because I had enough gap behind me and just hope that maybe he's, obviously yourself. I didn't hope my teammate would get a puncture, but I just thought we'll see what happens. Just sort of in the moment gamble, which probably obviously won't pay off now, but
Yeah, well, I have to react to this, mate. Yeah, well, you were spot on. The tires won't burst so easily. First, they drop off, even if the tire life looks like it's totally empty. There is still a couple of laps in them, always. Yeah, it depends on what tire app you're using, but the Pro Tire app that I am using is like this, and I believe you use the same.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the tire's not gonna burst, but I have really bad news for you, because I think I invalidated track limits a little bit too much. So it could be a penalty, and it could be maybe
Oh.
have cost you the second place. So it's I don't want to rub it in. Believe me, we're buddies, so it's all good.
Yeah.
But it's maybe a lesson for next time. Something always can happen, and you're way closer to, yeah. If there's a penalty and you are within 10 seconds, there's always a chance, mate.
Yeah, I know it was just one of them where I just thought, and my teammate was saying, just stay out. You never know what can happen. And yeah, hindsight's one of them wonderful things where I'm probably going to regret it again. But yeah, the season just seems to be turning out not to be my most fortunate one. But yeah, I think I'm just looking past that and just looking at the fact that, like, I know I'm just working on my overall pace, and it is improving. I just need to maybe improve my decision making a bit more.
Yeah, well, don't be depressed too much, mate, because if you look at it closely, looking at last season and this season, you are really, really improving, and you're challenging Franklin and me, and that was different last season. If you look at the bigger picture, I really think you should be really positive.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I think that is what I'm trying to do. I think it's like I think maybe it's because I am improving, and I'm like realizing now that I'm at a point where I can fight for better positions compared to last season. I think maybe it's a little bit of me is getting maybe carried away, and just rather than, I suppose, just seeing the race out and being consistent and calm in each decision making process. I think that will naturally come over time. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still happy, nevertheless.
All right, that's nice to hear. I think I'm guessing right, but your goal must be like at least win one race this season, right? Or do you have
Yeah.
even higher goals, or what are your goals?
Well, I think to be honest, when the season started, I don't know whether it was just before the first race or afterwards, but I literally said to myself that like a goal would be to obviously in the short term. So if we're not looking at the championship, would be to I think I don't know whether it was even just finishing the top 3 or just at least win a race, like you say. And then championship wise, I think because I finished P4 last season, I think it was in the championship. I'm looking maybe it's just one step further, P3, and then maybe it's next season. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think win a race now, looking at how the season's going, is definitely sort of goal A for now.
Exactly. Thank you very much for talking, my friend.
Thank you.
I don't know. Maybe you want to add something yourself?
I'm just another. I mean, just positive result again. Especially, I mean, I think with it being the home race, maybe with the little mistake and such wasn't great, but I think especially for the another positive is for the constructors. The team looks strong.
Yeah.
Can't
It,
argue with that.
it is a great team. It's very hard to yeah, to challenge that for the team championship. That's exactly one big positive for you, not for me.
Yeah. True.
All right. Well done. Congratulations again. Don't forget it is a podium, a nice third place. And yeah, well, we speak soon, I guess.
Yeah, we will. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good one. Enjoy.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.